From the Space Needle's rapid rise over the Seattle skyline to sports and an iconic music scene, a new documentary series dives into Seattle's history from 1962 to today. And our next guests co-produced the series and are here to tell us more. Please welcome John Forson and Tom Horton. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Kelly.
Good morning.
So, how did this series come about, gentlemen?
Well, we started this about trying to fund it and get it going about 11 years ago. So it's been going for a while, but once we got funding, we started about 3 years ago to start. So it started actually 15,000 BC to current. So we're talking about the current show now as 1962 to present. So that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, and it's broken up into 25 short stories, I understand. Why did you guys want to produce it this way?
You know, attention span's really short these days, and we didn't want to do a long narration, so we thought, let's do quick little segments, 1 to 3 minutes each, that cover a specific topic, and then run them together to keep the show moving, exciting, action. Plus, each one is a standalone film. Oh, so cool. If you're on your phone, you can just watch one segment and go from there. Plus, it's being used in the public schools, and so teachers really like the little short segments that they can watch and then talk about.
It's easy to digest, and
we call it like an appetizer. So it's a little soundbite of, you know, just getting people excited about one little piece of history, and then they can take the rest of their efforts to go do more research on that piece of history.
And what was it like diving into all of this footage, especially, you know, seeing things like the World's Fair?
Quite fun. You know, in each of the episodes, we used multiple narrators and multiple writers. So like in episode 3, there's 34 shorts, and we had about 28 writers. So each writer had their own specific understanding of that piece of history. So the World's Fair, I was around, Tom was around. I didn't go, but it was just fun to see that and just the construction and all the fun parts of that show. Yeah,
looking at some of the footage there is incredible. You gathered some of the biggest local names to narrate this series, including our own Joyce Taylor, who's been a mentor to me. I adore her. Who were some of the other narrators?
Well, other King 5 former people, Lori
really?
Matsukawa,
yes.
Mike James narrated and wrote some, but I think as you see in the shows, we have Jean Smart, who was the great actress, who was part of Seattle lore. We had, who else do we have?
Oh, we have Rick Steves and Governor Gary Locke and
Sue Bird.
Maria Cantwell and Sue Bird and
Nancy Wilson from Heart.
Wow, what was it like working with all these people?
It was fun. They had a blast. They a lot of them did it remotely because they don't live here, but they enjoyed it because they love and remember some of this history that they, you know, were part of as well.
Definitely. Was there anything when you all were researching for this docu-series that really surprised you or impressed you?
I think that just the depth of the history, if you go even back before 1962, the people and events that really shaped the area, whether it was the Klondike Gold Rush or the First World's Fair, the impact of the world wars on the economy. And then what a lot of people don't understand is Seattle was very much a blue-collar town. From its founding all the way up to the present, and then suddenly in the 80s and 90s, it clicks, and now we're this high-tech Microsoft, Amazon town, and so a lot of things really changed. The other eye-opener for us, and one of the reasons we wanted to do the series, is since 2000, 1 million people have moved to the area.
Incredible.
And these 1 million people know really nothing about Seattle's history, some of the famous people and events in the past. And we felt it was really important that they understand why the city is the way that it is, really as a means to make better decisions and better policy for today and going forward.
And to be good civic citizens. That was important to me, is, you know, all these people that moved here, how do they, you know, why are we because of where we've come from. And the other surprise for me, or the fun, was the native story. You know, really learning and using the natives as our consultants, writers, about way back before all of us were here. And so that was super important, just to be able to tell some of that story and share that.
Definitely. And you all mentioned that it's in Classroom, which is incredible, easy to digest for people with, you know, we're just scrolling constantly, so we don't, our attention spans. So I must know, how can people watch? Where does it air? Tell us all about it.
So episode 3 will start June 11th on KBTC Public TV, channel 108 on Xfinity. It's on, if you just Google Seattle History and Short Stories, it's all over the internet right now. It's free to everybody. We're a nonprofit that started this whole project, so we are giving it out for free to all entities. The Seattle Channel, all the local municipal television stations. So, and then once it airs on KBTC at the episode 3, it'll be also being able to be streamed on, you know, YouTube, whatever.
Amazing. Lots of ways to watch. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen.
Thanks for inviting us. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.